we should watch it with you. I'm like, fine. And they were like, wow, this is really bloody. That's
R
why.
R is for really nice to watch.
I always find it funny when people talk about like their their fan lives because it's like, oh yeah, friends, like obviously they know I'm a nerd. Coworkers know that I'm a nerd. Family, like pretty much like very few people are like, oh yeah, they know. It's like they're okay, they're kind of okay with it.
There's the nerd closet.
Yeah, basically, like, well, I'm so thankful too that I can put all of the costumes that I don't wear all the time just in their huge closets upstairs. So
Oh, that's
they're,
nice.
they're basically my storage.
I mean, you must have quite a few by this point.
Yeah, and I moved literally all my stuff over here just so I wouldn't have to worry about anything until I was ready to start working on stuff again. So when I put my Emil head up there, my mom was like, "Oh, you're putting Emil in here?" And I was like, "You know his name? Oh no."
You're onto me. You're way too close to the situation.
Oh, no, she knows his name.
Keep hearing a.
Oh, I was gonna
Go
ask a
ahead.
quick question because
Yeah.
Near Automata, would you recommend? I keep hearing so many
But
things about it.
you don't ask me because
No?
I'm biased and I would say to play the first Nier first.
Okay. Is that on Steam? Are they both on Steam?
No.
Is that like a PS2 or something
It
game?
was PS3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
However, it's very rare now because ever since Automata came out, all of a sudden my fandom got friggin' popular, and now everyone's buying the first Nier off the
Are
shelves.
you happy about that or sad about that?
Both. It's both. Because one day I'm like super salty, and then the next I'm like, this is so amazing. I couldn't do this 2 years ago. So, yeah.
I remember logging onto your stream briefly, and what I saw was like batshit insanity. I think you were near the beginning of the game as well.
Oh,
I
man.
could not
I
comprehend
wish
what I
I
was
could
seeing.
I wish I could stream Dragon Guard 3 because that is even worse. If you think that's bad, Dragon Guard 3 is that plus being very lewd.
Was Drakengard the series on like the PS2 where you fly around on a dragon taking out armies? Am I remembering that?
That was the first two, yes. And
Okay.
Dragon Guard 3 was on PS3, and it's with girls killing each other.
That sounds like a bit of a departure.
They're all like real. Well, we don't talk
Low.
about two. We don't really talk about two
His
because
damage
Yoko
is very
Taro didn't
regulated.
really have
Yeah.
much to do with it. He was like the video editor, and that's all he did. So no one really talks about two that much because it also is like, so the timeline it goes Dragon Guard 3, it was a prequel. So chronologically that comes first, even though it was out later. And so it's Dragon Guard 3, and then that branches to Dragon Guard 1. And then it goes either in the direction of Dragon Guard 2, which sucks, and then or it could also go to Nier. So it's like Dragon Guard 1 has multiple different endings, and one of them could go to Dragon Guard 2, which sucks. And then the ending E specifically goes to Nier. And then obviously Nier goes to Nier Automata.
That
Wait,
is
sorry,
confusing.
I did not know that those were all part of the same game series.
They are all the same.
Oh wow.
Universe. Technically, it's hard to get too specific without too spoilery.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
it's all the same kind of conglomerate. That's a good word. Dot hack is a conglomerate, so I'll call it that.
Oh
Right,
yeah, dot
okay.
hack.
what is Nier Automata most like? I'm trying to figure out if I want to pick it up or not.
It's a very good game. Like, I'm not being biased or anything. It's out of all of them, it's the easiest to play because Platinum made it, and it just has so much references to the first Nier that I really recommend people to play the first one first, just because it like you wouldn't understand like half the game, but it's just still a really amazing game, and the soundtrack is composed by the same guy who did Nier 1 and Dragon Guard 3 music as well. It's very, very melodic and emotional, and the game itself is very emotional as well. But yeah, I really recommend to play the first one if you can. Or if not, watch a playthrough or watch Klemps on YouTube with his analysis because he's really, really good at explaining everything while still being really hilarious and not taking himself seriously. He's really, really good with the first Drakengard analysis as well. Oh my god, he's hilarious. Because like Drakengard and Nier are also his babies, so he wanted to explain them to people that in just like, you know, a funny way. And it's really, because Yoko Taro himself is not a serious guy, but then he makes you feel feelings in his games. It's very intense and very weird, and it's more of like when I played the first Nier, it felt like it was an art form than more like an art form than a game, and it was just very striking that way to me.
What is the... You mentioned Platinum Games, and the only thing I think I've played by them is like the Bayonetta games. Oh no, wait, they did
Wonderful
Devil May Cry,
101.
didn't
I think they did Star Fox Zero.
Oh, never mind. They did a lot of games.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah.
What is Nier Automata most like in terms of gameplay? Or the Nier series, I guess.
Well, the gameplay is kind of different in the first Nier because it's a lot more clunky. The Nier Automata is you have I was on easy mode, so the pod did its own thing and automatically, but if you play above easy mode, it's like you control yourself and you choose your different weapons that you want to fight with in battle, but you also control your pod, which shoots things, or you can upgrade it with chips where you could have it heal you when you need to, and like it's basically your gun while you use your swords, and you can carry 2 at a time swords, and it's really fast paced. I'm trying to think of other games that are similar.
You mentioned swords, so I'm pretty sure Z's on board.
Is it so? It sounds okay. It sounds kind of like an RPG, but like an action RPG, sort of like a
RPG, yeah. And Raph is like super adamant that, oh no, Nier and Nier Automata aren't JRPGs. I'm like, yes, they are. They're just more. They're just more like he thinks RPGs are all turn based. I'm like, no.
The best ones are.
No, stop.
Because Nier Automata was like his first JRPG technically that he played all the way through. So because it's still kind of open world ish, because you do quests to level up as you're progressing through the actual story, and there's different. So you go through different routes. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to explain what is the main routes like in general.
Yeah.
The first playthrough you play as 2B, which is the main girl android, and then the second playthrough you play the same exact timeline as the first one, but you play as 9S, which is the boy android. But then the third playthrough, you get to play as both of them. You know, they switch throughout the story between both of them and A2, who's kind of a more sassy, sassy android, and like, but also it's a continuation of the first two. It's not the same timeline. It's basically a continuation of A and B, and then that's your third playthrough. And then once you get to the end of that, you have a choice, and that is either C or D. Once you pick, then you see that ending cutscene, and then it will give you a chapter select, so you can pick the other ending. So if you pick C, then you can go back and get D, or if you pick D, then you can go back and get C. And after you do that, then during the credits, you have the option to do ending E, which is like a thing with the pods. And then after that's done, then you get to experience any other of the weird endings that he has. There's 26 total.
26.
In Automata, yes. He decided to go a little extra for Automata, because in the first Nier there's only like 5, just like the Drakengard's are only like 4 or 5 each.
Chrono Trigger-esque number of
yeah.
many endings as Chrono Cross has characters almost.
Most of them are jokes though. Like when I was playing as 9S on my second playthrough, I didn't listen to the pod when it was like, you have to stay on your route, and then I was like, whatever, and then I went off, and then it was like, it went to black, and then it was like, and 9S was never seen from again. I was like, no.
Welp.
Then I had to start over. So yeah, Yoko Taro's just a troll in general. So, and he has a whole ending dedicated to Emil too, and it's so sad. I love him so much.
Apparently, we're gonna have to get into some Nier Automata at some point.
Down. We'll do a stream.
Ah,
Oh, just keeping in mind that I don't want to take up too much of your time, and has been great chatting with you. There is one thing, regardless of how much longer we end up chatting, that I do not want to forget about. So we have a thing for you. You're not here, but we have a thing for you anyway.
What?
Yeah. Could somebody? Hello. Could you?
go off the
I'm
goods.
trying to be secret.
Yeah. Trying to be very,
Yeah.
very.
We're trying to be very
conspicuous
secretive.
here.
We're very bad at being secretive. Soph gonna peer behind the curtain. Something.
Got it.
You know what? I'm just gonna hang tight until magic happens.
Voodoo magic.
At some point, it'll appear. Hey, it's Soph. Yeah, yes, you're wearing a shirt. I can see that. Oh no, it's a completely different shirt. Oh no. Oh, so we got a shirt for you. We don't know what your size is. You can post it in the you can DM us, and we'll send you one of those shirts.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yes. Anytime.
Being on team race against time.
Yes, I'm official.
Woo!
Oh,
My friend,
Chibi's asking
a
how
feeling
many endings
if-
have we completed? 0. We have completed 0 endings so far. Sorry.
Doing this one real thorough, but this should be coming quite quickly afterwards.
Yep.
I think I have a feeling that shirts are going to keep expanding each year.
I hope you mean in.
I mean, cast of characters.
Oh, okay. It's like we're all just gonna get really fat.
No, I plan to do a lot of standing and walking after this. But,
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any other things you want to ask, Sarah? Either of you?
I would say if you want to throw. No, go ahead.
No,
Okay.
I've got
I would
nothing.
say if you want to throw out like the easiest way that people can find you, and if
Um,
they want more of the SM Zelda rules experience.
you can literally type SM Zelda rules anywhere and you'll get me. Basically, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, which I need to start streaming more. YouTube, which I need to start doing videos more. What else do I do? On all the cosplay sites, it's SM Zelda rules. I keep it simple.
Just get that name everywhere.
I'm known in Canada as Smeldosaurus because nobody there knows how to pronounce it.
Smeldosaurus?
Yes.
What?
That's wonderful.
SM Zelda. Oh, because the
You
this is like
surprised.
Saurus.
I've never told you guys the pronunciation. You guys did it right the first time, I think. So,
Well, it's capital S, capital M, capital Z, and then lowercase e,
you guys
etc.
just said, that's right. Oh my god. I was like, what? And then I remembered.
I don't know how it happens such that we're like, yeah, we're the Nick's cast, and they're like, Nick cast, got it.
Not as bad as notably nerdy, notably nerds,
Yeah.
notable nerdy.
I don't know. You gotta have that key username that everyone. But like, do you? Because cow butt crunchies.
Cow butt crunchies.
Yeah.
Cosplay.
I love her cosplay name.
She's
Hello,
been-
Goat.
BH003 rolls
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't you change that?
Good change, wasn't it?
Yeah. Goat BG, much shorter and simpler.
Like I said, it
Yes.
rolls off the tongue.
Cool. Thank you again for chatting with us, Sarah.
Yes, thank
Um, yeah. I'm gonna end the Skype call.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I don't
Sure.
have.
Thank you for-
Pretty
Pretty
much
close.
size through Skype or
Yep.
Facebook? Okay.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the Chrono Trigger love with us, and I guess the rest of New York State.
Yeah.
Anytime.
All right, have a good night.
Cool. Until
You
next time.
too.
Hey, thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye. Oh, you too.